How to know if the love spell is working? If you've asked yourself this question, you've probably requested someone to cast a love spell for you, or maybe you are experimenting with your own rituals. Remember, every case is different, and what may happen to me will not necessarily happen to you. It depends on the circumstances and the people involved. Here are the clues that most people experience. This will help you find out if a love spell is working. Some clear signs are strong feelings and emotions. Most love spells are cast to make a certain person fall in love with you, to make them think about you constantly and develop deep feelings for you. You may experience the same feelings as well, since the spell can work on both of you at the same time. If you are feeling more intense emotions and you cannot get the person out of your thoughts, then the spell is most likely having the same effect on both of you. Coincidences are also a very common sign that the spell is working as planned. For example, a binding love spell that is supposed to bring the two of you closer to each other can have effects that appear in many different ways, such as calling or texting each other at the same time or meeting unexpectedly. If you are very intuitive, you will also perceive messages in dreams, or even in songs and TV shows. Personally, I do not believe in coincidences just because. All these things are signs and messages, and it is important to pay attention and take them seriously. As you learn to recognize the messages that are given to you, the more messages you will receive. Contact. It is very difficult to see the effects that the love spell is having on the other person until they begin to show how they feel. The spell works on people's minds and hearts, and until they show their feelings, it may not be obvious how well the spell has worked. The first sign of real progress is generally an increase in contact with that person. This can be through email, phone, text messages, or a visit in person. You may notice that the person is looking at you more than usual, or acting differently. It is very common for them to be a little confused at first, as they may not be aware of why they suddenly feel so strongly attracted to you, and this may scare them a bit. They can be very attentive in a moment and keeping some distance the next. This is normal and temporary. When the spell has worked completely, you will know. You might see the results you were expecting, or you will receive something even better than what you asked for. Either way, you will be delighted with the result. Other signs. Once the first weeks after the spell has been cast, it is very important to be alert to the presence of some things that could indicate that your spell is beginning to take effect. Some of the details that need attention and that indicate that the ritual is working may include recurring dreams with the other person, much more intense emotions, unexpected meetups with that person, increased contact by phone, messages, or other ways, intense visual contact, a remarkable feeling of happiness. Other ways to tell if a spell is working. Check the calendar. Some spells take a lunar month, or 28 days, to take effect. We call this spell manifestation time, so you have to be patient. In addition, the phase of the moon at the time of the spell will have some influence on the effectiveness of the spell and the overall result, depending on what was expected of the spell. Perform a divination. Use a deck of cards or a pendulum to ask the higher powers or your angels about the progress of the spell. Ask them about the status of the current situation, as well as about the things you can do to make the spell work to the fullest. Pay attention to the current environment. Often, when a spell is in progress, the universe sends signals and omens to the person who cast the spell. The patterns are presented as available information in relation to the status of the situation. Also, having a dream journal will help you find more information that can easily be received by the subconscious mind. Re-examine the spell. If more than 1 month has passed without visible results, it may be necessary to recast the spell. Evaluate the spell and determine what may need to be changed in order to achieve the desired result. Evaluate the final purpose of the spell. A spell that is too vague in focus is less likely to be effective than one with a very specific goal. It is also possible that the spell has not been cast correctly. Learn more at lovemagicworks.com.